It's remembering that we're a really community-driven community in the outdoors world. Everyone wants as many people to be able to access it as possible. We love people enjoying our world. And so it's remembering that there are disabled people who need those things, who that 10 seconds out of your life to write some alt text, or not even half a day to correct some AI-generated captions on a film, that means that people feel included and feel welcome in a community.
Good morning and welcome back to Kendal Mountain Festival Media Room. I'm joined this morning by filmmakers Danielle Sellwood and Poppy Levison. Good morning both.
Good morning.
Can you tell us a bit about yourselves and introduce yourselves to the folk watching?
So I'm Danielle Sellwood and I'm a filmmaker and accessibility expert. So I do a lot of work on captioning and audio description to make our films accessible to the disabled community.
Hi, I'm Poppy Levison. I'm registered blind and have been enjoying the outdoors my entire life. And I do the project with my mum. And I'm also quite knowledgeable in audio description and other forms of accessibility.
So what have you been up to at the festival this year?
It's been jam-packed. So I have a film here called Younger, about 4 older women still doing athletics and competing athletics. So we've got 2 screenings of that. Which have been sold out, which is fab. And then also we've done a talk to the Filmmakers Summit on educating them on how to make their films accessible. So this has been a project that's been going now. Well, we started it last year. We've gone to some other festivals and we've got an open source document to try and help the filmmakers themselves and the brands understand exactly what they need to do to welcome the disabled community to the festival and to the films, the amazing films that are out there that we all get inspired by. So yeah, it's been a busy weekend. It's been amazing. Yeah, thank you.
Poppy, have you been up to anything in particular?
I've had a bit more of a flying visit. It's limited time, but I'm really looking forward to the accessible screening. For me, accessible screenings are a rarity still, but so when they are on, it's really means a lot to be able to make it to them.
As you've both mentioned, you are leading the way on a project called Access Kendal. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so it's sort of a multi-pronged attack, really. Attack, that's a bit harsh, but so it's about educating the filmmakers, and it's also about working with the festivals so that the screenings have got audio description for blind and visually impaired people. So audio description is accessed via headset, and it's pre-done before the screening alongside each film, and it describes what's happening in the film in the gaps between the dialogue. So that's specifically audio description, and then captioning. We all know what subtitles are like and we're all used to using those, but accessible captions explain the other sounds that are happening. So like people crunching through the snow, or the music describing what the music is. And we as filmmakers, we will put a lot of effort into the music particularly describes the mood of or a change in mood. So it's really important for the deaf community or people that are hard of hearing to understand, if it's gone melancholy or it's upbeat or it's disco, that very much describes the vibe. We're also advocating for BSL. Obviously that's another level and much more expensive. So that's really aimed at brands to consider putting BSL or having BSL versions on their projects as well. And we are working alongside Cold House Collective with this project, and they've been amazing. And all of their films now are accessible, and they're doing great work alongside this project as well. So yeah, big thanks to them.
Poppy, what have you been working on within Access Kendal?
Well, for me, it's really important to have a disabled voice as part of the group. Mm-hmm. We have a phrase in the disability community, which is nothing about us without us, which sort of talks about the need of having representation and also ensuring that what you're doing is actually relevant to the disabled community. Often people very well-meaningly do things for disabled people that aren't actually helpful. And also for me, it's having a sort of personal lived experience is really important. Being able to go up and talk to filmmakers about the fact that I grew up going to film festivals and I was visually impaired then, and my mum used to sit next to me and she used to read all the subtitles out because otherwise I'd completely miss a film if it was in a foreign language. And then since being registered blind, I kind of stopped going to the film festivals, which was my connection to the outdoors community as someone who lives in a city. And so I lost that part of the culture that we all love. And so actually then being able to work towards making film festivals accessible, it's a really emotional thing to feel like I'm once again being included and thought about by my community. And we've shared many a tear, and people kind of don't necessarily understand the emotional impact of exclusion, but then the joy that comes with inclusion. So yeah, it's really nice to be able to share that message with people, and it really gets people on side.
I think it's incredibly important, the work you're both doing, because we know there's millions of people in the UK that are deaf, hard of hearing, other millions that are also blind, and then there's other disabilities as well. So thank you both for the work you're doing, and we are very honoured to platform it here at Kendall. Can you tell us a bit more about what the next steps are for the project?
Yeah, so I mean, we're working with other festivals too, because we very much we can't do this on our own. Like, it's not just a single festival. We need everybody to get on board with this, and there is quite a lot of cross collaboration between SHAF and BAMF and, you know, all the other big festivals, and that's really, really important and lovely. Really great that everyone's got on board with it. The next big thing is getting the disabled people to understand that, or the disabled community to recognise that this is for them. So
yeah, I think disabled people are so used to turning up to things and finding out that they actually aren't accessible, or having bad experiences when they go to things. And there's often a sort of lack of trust in that, and fear that you'll again feel more excluded than if you hadn't gone at all. And so I think it's sort of trying to reach out to people and understand that everyone here is really on board. We're really trying. There should be a session every year going forwards that should have audio description and captioning as a minimum. So yeah, hopefully we can build up that trust with people and get more people along so that more people can enjoy all the work that's being done.
And any filmmakers, brands, other festivals watching, what can they do moving forward?
Well, give us a call. We've got an open source guide that's available, that's kind of like a dummies guide to certainly the captions and audio description. It talks about the BSL side and also alt text for your social media. So lots of quick wins, very simple guides. We're also going to be running some workshops online. So anybody that wants to get involved, you know, get in touch with Kendall, because they're right behind the project, which is amazing. And yeah, the idea is really that in the future that festivals will only accept films, certainly with captions, and then following that, we hope quite closely behind audio description. So it's something that filmmakers and brands really, really need to kind of get on board with, and we're so thankful to Kendall for supporting the project so, you know, brilliantly.
It's very easy to work with you both when you're doing such amazing work. You put so much effort into it. Poppy?
Yeah, I think it's always having disabled people in mind when you're making your films and you're getting ready to put them out into the world. It's that thing of, I completely understand that every time you go to do an Instagram post, it's so easy to be like, I can't be bothered to write the alt text, or, oh, I haven't got time to do the captions properly, so I'll just use the AI generated ones. And I know that everyone's struggling with budgets and time and resourcing and stuff, but it's remembering that we're a really community-driven community in the outdoors world. Everyone wants as many people to be able to access it as possible. We love people enjoying our world, and so it's remembering that there are disabled people who need those things, who that 10 seconds out of your life to write some alt text, or not even half a day to correct some AI generated captions on a film, that means that people feel included and feel welcome in a community.
Thank you. And we have the access screening this morning. Are you excited about that?
Oh yeah, it's always great. I mean, that is the next step as well, is to have more disabled people here to enjoy it. We've just got a handful at the moment. You know, our ultimate dream is to have half the cinema full of people that are really needing these and appreciating them. And, you know, ideally we can, you know, in the way that everyone meets up here who know each other and kind of come every year, if we can build a community of disabled people also doing that, that is the dream, right?
Who knows where we could be in 5 years, 10 years time with all these amazing disabled climbers climbing together or cycling together or whatever.
Yeah.
And then hopefully some of them will be protagonists in the film, and it'll be this beautiful full circle.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Poppy and Danielle, thank you very much for joining us at Kendall, and thank you very much for all the work you do.
Well, thank you for having us.